Hey, so how's it going, guys? What we're gonna do today is we're gonna do, will it start? I know it'll start. So this is the old van right here. It's the old flat front, flat glass 66 Chevy van. First generation van. They made these from 64 to 66. These are a really cool van, way cooler than VW vans. What makes these super cool is it's like a race car. It's got the engine. It's a mid-engine vehicle. Yeah. So what makes these really cool is these are mid-engine or cab over design. I'm not sure technically if it's mid-engine. I think mid-engine is if the radiator is behind the front wheels. But as you can see, your butt is right on top of the front wheels. Super cool to drive. We got the 3 in the tree, which Dad will show you. We'll take a video of it heading down the road. We're just going to the bottle depot right now and going to take the old van. So it's still a little bit of a project, but that's all right. I was trying to get to it this winter, but the other project kind of took priority. But the floor is a little punky here. I got new seats to go in it, and it's just a plain old cargo van. Gonna put some of that sound deadener in it. Probably turf that. But she's a cool old ride. So, yeah, let's get her started. This will be the first time going for a rip since, what's the tag say on the back here? No tag, no tag on the back, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I think the last time I took this old beast for a rip was somewhere in 2023. So I haven't driven it in at least 2 years. Just drove it around the farm here. See if there's enough battery life to bring this old girl to life. So this has the original 230 inline 6 in it, but I had it completely professionally rebuilt by a guy that builds hot rod engines. We put a 250 crank in it. It's all bored out, got a custom valve grind, everything on it. The 3 in the tree transmission is rebuilt, and let's open this door before I take a dirt nap. Anyways, come along for the ride there, guys.
And put in higher differential rear gears, and so he's pretty stiff. So we're going to go to the bottom of the plate, and here we go.
Still recording?
Yep. Should I leave it on?
Yeah. Oh, did you turn it off?
No, it's on. At least now I can see what it's recording.
Oh, you recycled it, reset it. It might have not been recording the first time around.
Wheels are starting to dry up pretty nice.
No flat spots on the tires. That's pretty nice. That's what you get when you buy good quality tires, I guess.
Absolutely. Good radios should be have flat spots.
That makes sense, because I think my bike is actually bias fly, is it not?
Oh,
I don't know. Those had amazing flat spots on them. I did a will it start on this day.
today? Like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on tomorrow's video. Whoop, slow down for the bridge.
Well, we can have pop balls all over. Oh, not too bad. We had that, of course, the nice older fella down there. It isn't Ernie, it's Earl's member.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's
I knew Ernie did sound right. Earl. Steve
Yeah.
Earl.
Earl's our neighbor down here. And super
Same
nice
with
guy.
Blair.
And his
The
son
Russ
Blair.
Bros.
Yeah, that works for Russ Brothers.
They probably can't hear a lick we're saying.
Too much wind.
Yeah, we'll see. I can do that in the editing too. That gravel road will be dry enough. I'll just drive by there, see if they're there, pump the horn.
Well, there's the dad yard there.
I wonder if the grain truck guy is pulling over to talk to us, or if he's just pulling over.
Probably just pulling over. Oh, maybe. No, maybe he was. Wanna go say hi to Earl?
So we got the next stage of a project here, and that is these guys. So I drew it up on the old paper. I drew up in CAD, crayon aided design. Texted it to my buddy. He got this all laser cut out. They broke these up, and we're changing the brackets for how the differential mounts. So how it is stock, this goes on the bottom, and the saddle holds the axle to the spring, or the differential to the spring. Didn't like that, because as you can see, it holds a lot of dirt and crap. We went to a U-bolt design, and the U-bolt goes underneath. This will go on top, just like that. But we got to do a bit of clearancing right there. That's a little close. We'll knock that corner off and get her put together. Cool, so we're back. We got the leaf springs finished installed. We got the super springs. Probably the easiest set of springs I've ever installed. A lot of you is here with the box off. So myself here, I'm not sponsored by Super Springs. Paid for these with my own Canadian pesos, but they do work. I put them on every work truck. I've done airbags before. We have way too wild temperature swings in northern Alberta, and our road conditions are terrible for the majority of the year. Airbags don't work for us here. And I've had phenomenal luck with these. So how they work is they clamp onto the top of your spring, and they put minimal load on your spring when the truck bed has no load on it. So you retain a relatively decent ride quality when unloaded. And the more weight you put in the box pushes up on the springs, which then engages that super spring. So the more weight you put in, the more it engages it. Can't recommend this product enough. Absolutely excellent. If you're towing anything heavy or have heavy loads on your vehicle, campers, work trucks, whatever you got, these are awesome. Plus this truck now has a 7 leaf pack leaf spring in it. So she might ride a little rough. So next on the project list, we're gonna start throwing some matting in here. Hey guys, so we spent a little time after work here today and got some of this matting. So far it's going pretty good. I've been using some of this foil tape that I use in the HVAC world for doing the seams or anywhere where it, like there where it splits or cracks. Just because when I'm working in here, I don't really want to get tar on me. And yeah, she's going pretty good. Well, we're back to the truck here. So a couple of projects I got on the go. As we'll see, getting the Dynamat, or not Dynamat, some off-brand Scamazon Dynamat style stuff going on. Using foil tape to tape up all the seams so there's no sticky, gummy tar sticking through when I'm working in there. Ran a little bit short in some spots. Also want to do the back there. Well, also want to do the back here. Ran short on some. Should have more by the end of the day here. But while we're waiting on that, we're getting on to other projects here. Well, the box is off. We got this old crusty brake line. I'd be pretty annoyed with myself if I didn't change this right now because it's easy to get to. The other thing I'm doing, these junky radiators with the plastic tanks on the side, underneath there, you can just see it. It's got a weep. So gonna change it now while the fenders and hood is off. Also gonna start tearing out those oil cooler lines because they leak and they are making a mess. So gonna start cleaning that up. And I'm still not sure if I'm gonna change this for now, but I may just fix it. Anyways, follow along, let's get her done. Okay, so trying to get these clips in behind here with the fuel tank in. It is doable, but I'm thinking that this fuel tank, I'm seeing some surface rust in here. I did the fuel sending unit last winter, but I've always gotten a smell of fuel every time this tank gets filled up. So I'm thinking that there's probably a leak in the fuel tank. She's empty now, so I think I'm gonna tear it out. Make my life easier. so we're back to another day of, or another afternoon anyways, of working on the 98 project truck. So, at a standstill, waiting for parts, got some parts on order. Yesterday I ripped out the rad, got a rad on order. Going with an aluminum rad. Not that aluminum is better for cooling, it's that these rads, as you see back there, the tanks on them are plastic. And I don't know, I'm not a big fan of plastic parts on that kind of thing. So Rock Auto, not a sponsor, but Rock Auto, they had aluminum ones for a reasonable-ish price compared to buying them locally here, or just a regular one locally. So going with aluminum one should be not necessary, well, it will be better cooling because it's a thicker radiator, it's a 3-core rad. The overall width of the radiator part is 2 3/4 of an inch, where that one is about 1.5 inches. So it'll be better cooling just for the fact that it's bigger. But the biggest reason why I'm getting it is because of durability. Not a huge fan of plastics when it comes to heat cycling and that sort of stuff. And that's where that one's leaking, is in the plastic tanks on the side. So going with one, I hopefully don't have to change anytime soon. Well, I'm here again just doing basic maintenance stuff, so this is going to be my work truck primarily. So I kind of want to, once it's getting going, I don't want to have to touch it anytime soon after this. So water pump was weeping, going to just replace that. There's some oil hoses down there. I was going to get the new oil hoses, but from what everybody's saying is the new ones are junk. So what I'm going to do is the adapter that the oil filter spins on and the little oil lines come off. There's these push style fuel connections, I guess. Again, not a huge fan of those. Plus these, they leak where the crimps are. So I'm going to get some JIC adapters. I believe it said was 3/8 MPT. So I'm going to get 3/8 MPT to JIC. And I'm just going to get hydraulic hoses made. Hydraulic hoses are cheap, easy to fix, and should last a lot longer than what the stock ones are. So yeah, but now waiting on parts for that. So what I'm going to do, instead of just sitting and watching TV, is we're going to go outside. We got the box here on a trailer. So it's just sitting on the trailer, but it looks pretty cool slammed like that. Not a huge fan of slam trucks, but that looks pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a slam project truck one day, but I like my 4x4s. But we got some rust over the wheel wells, got patch panels. Gonna start cutting at that and getting her done. Cool. Follow along. So how's it going, guys? So we're back on the truck again. So we got the floor all soundproofed with the sound deadening mat. Just folded up that carpet right up there, put matting on the back there. Should be good. So a cool thing I picked up for this is this needle scaler. So the frame, it looks worse than what it is, but it's just a little bit of surface rust. She's a little crusty, but it's not bad. It's really solid still, but just has some surface rust and flaky scaliness. And man, this thing, it just hammers off the rust. So I'm gonna get back to that. What I did really like though is that needle scaler. So this rust. When I was originally looking at this frame here, it looked good. Just for what I could see was mostly surface rust. Nothing really to be concerned about. But what was installed here was a fifth wheel hitch to the frame with the brackets bolted through, which I'm going to be reinstalling a fifth wheel hitch onto this. Not that I have a fifth wheel, but they're cheap. And I can't say no to a good deal, so if I find a good fifth wheel, love to get one. Whether a fifth wheel gooseneck style flat deck or a holiday trailer, I want to have the option. So picked up a cheap fifth wheel, same bracket, same everything as this. But what I was a little bit concerned about is where the original brackets were. It looked like there was chunks of rust kind of building up. But what I found out with that needle scaler, all I have was surface rust. It was actually just gunk on the original undercoating flaking off. And as we can see there, that's the original frame paint. So props to undercoating. I don't know, some people say it's a waste of money. I think it's a good thing to do. What I'm going to do with this isn't going to be like any kind of tar or that asphalt undercoating. What I'm going to use is the oil base, the lanolin style oil base. You can get the black stuff, and I know you have to reapply it once a year kind of thing, which I really don't have an issue with that. Live up in northern Alberta here, and they don't salt the roads too badly up here in all honesty compared to out east, or if you're in the Rust Belt in the States. But I don't have an issue reapplying it every year, and then you get the different applicators and you can get right into all these channels. I'm going to do the underneath the body and all that once we're all done here to really give her a good rust protection. That's what I'm going to do with that. That needle scaler did one heck of a bang up job just getting that loose flaky crap off. And what I'll also do is there is this rust converter. Again, not sponsored by these or anything, but I've used this for a while now and I really do like it. You can tell once it's done its job because as you can see there, it goes before and then converted. It actually turns the rust black. It neutralizes the rust apparently. I've had good luck with it. Years ago, I did my old work truck. Don't mind the bottles there, I got to go to the bottle depot. But I did the work truck, cut all the rust out of it, or the majority of the rust holes out of it. Hit it with that rust converter, and it lasted a good 4 years before I started getting rust popping out through, and really didn't think I'd be bombing around in that same truck for this long, so I'm really not going to worry about it. Those old crappy Dodges, they were known to just rust out like crazy anyway, so it's actually, for the year, it's doing pretty well. And for the amount of kilometers I put on it, I'll probably have it miled out before the body is in bad shape anyways. So, or too bad a shape anyways. So there's the projects on the go. Let's get to her. Hey, how's it going, guys? So what we're gonna tackle today is we're gonna start doing these, you'll watch, already started cutting out these wheel arches here. So the inner tubs, I gotta just remake this flange right here, so I got something to weld on too. There's one spot where it's completely missing and a few other spots where they're pretty soft. So right here, this is not gonna replace it, just gonna fix some of this stuff up. If you got soft, a little punky, I'll cut it up about there and then just bend that on the brake. I have to do this one as well too, do that in a few sections to about there, and then get this wheel arch tacked in place. Now I'm not sure places like that, it is, it's rusted in behind there, so I'll probably cut that out as well too. And that was just the screw when they put the mud flap in, that missed and smashed that, so probably just pop a hole there and give her the old bury the god, bury the job welding dab right there and should be good. And right here, there's a rust hole coming out, and that looks like that'd be a pinhole right there, so I'll get that as well too, and we'll get on her. Might bring this up a little higher too, just so I can clean that top of that wheel arch better and put something on it so it doesn't rust any farther. But we'll get this done first. Happy days. Okay, so we're back at another evening at poking at the project truck here. So just kind of waiting on parts. You watched me rip the back brake line out, waiting for a 1/4-inch brake line for that. We got started on the other side of the box, right there. But the only patch panels I bought was the top wheel arches. And I need more. As I was cutting it out, start finding more rust right there. Rust goes to the bottom. So I've got the full wheel arch thing now. But they're not in, of course, so waiting on those. Same with this side. There just seems to be more rust than what it looks like at the beginning. So ordered wheel arches for both sides, the full wheel arch. But anyways, no sense sitting in the house watching TV. I'm gonna start cutting panels right here. We're gonna cut that out because what happened here, or not what happened here, it just, like anything, you poke at it. The more you poke, the more you find. The inside wheel well was rotted pretty good where it flanges up together and you spot weld it. So made some new little patch panels for that. Welded in a new lip under here and here. So you figure that I'm gonna probably have to do that on the other side, but won't know until I get it cut off. So that's what we're gonna do. Start a cutting. And just if I haven't showed you guys, or you've never seen it, my air system I have works awesome. So in case you guys never seen it, I'm kind of pretty proud of myself on this one here. Oh, got insurance and registration for the old boogie van and the bike. This year, I'm gonna use them more. Last 2 years, 3 years, too busy with work, didn't use any of my fun toys. This year is gonna be a different story, and I'm going for a burn in that tomorrow. Might even take the bike out for a rip this weekend. It's supposed to be nice. But anyways, air compressor. So this air compressor, if you guys never seen it, worked amazing. So if you look at the old interwebs there, guys, call these, and I'll post some pictures of what I did, a little bit better description. But it's called an aftercooler. And so you replumb it, you come out of the head of the compressor, goes into this condensing unit. There's also a 12-volt electric fan right there. That then cools the hot air because you build up heat of compression. It condenses the air. It then condenses the moisture that's in the air. And it goes into this little water trap. This is a automatic piddler on the water trap, and that just drains out the water. Then from there, it goes to the check valve in the tank. Highly recommend this mod. It's amazing. I have 0 air at my air outlet in the shop, and just for extra assurance, I put these 2 copper risers up there, whoop, and both of them have drop legs right there. And these pretty much stay completely dry. I have a ball valve that's easier to access here at the bottom for draining the tank. Never had any moisture in the tank yet, so that is awesome. Had a little bit extra patches doing the sound deadening mat in the pickup truck. So I put those on here because, as you can hear, it rings like a bell, so just kind of dampen that a bit. But this is pretty stinking quiet as it is. If we look in behind here, that right there is the magic. How I get, here, can we see here? Oh, there we go. That little black box, that's the magic. How I get that fan to run. So that fan is a 12-volt DC fan. And what that is a 240-volt AC to 12-volt DC power adapter. It's just standard. Most of these things, because they only make one of them, they sell different adapters for Europe and Asia or Australia or wherever. And so typically they're good for 110 volts to 240 volts or 250 volts and 50 to 60 hertz. So for us, it works perfectly. We can put it on a 240-volt circuit. We're 60 hertz here in Canada, and that's what runs the 12-volt fan. And it's just a cheap 12-volt fan off of Amazon for automotive purposes. And the other cool thing, put a little hour meter on here. The other cool thing is I put an hour meter on here. Why I put an hour meter on here is you're supposed to change the oil every 100 hours. How do you know when 100 hours is up? If you don't have a meter on it. Plus these are supposed to last 10,000 hours, so I want to prove that. But anyways, this whole setup, obviously, this is all my own pesos that I've put into the setup. I want it to last pretty long, so I want to do the proper oil change intervals and make her last a long time. But anyways, that setup works awesome. There should be no excuses for a bad paint job when we come to paint the old pickup truck here. So the primary reason why I did it was for painting the truck. But the other reason why I did it too, that whole setup, is for the whole arc droid and the plasma cutter. So when you're using any kind of plasma torch, you want dry air, you get way cleaner cuts, and your consumables last way longer. So that was the big reason behind that right there. So let's start cutting the wheel arch out on the box there. Hey guys, thanks very much for following along and coming with me for a ride in the old boogie van. So yeah, if you like it, click like, subscribe, follow along. Catch you guys next week.